Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Noah coming to my first ever video on this platform. Man, what can I say? This was a crazy game, y'all. This game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals between the San Antonio Spurs and the Minnesota Timberwolves was a heck of a showdown. Just being honest with you guys, for those that did not get to watch the game, when you look at the score, you might say, my goodness, like the game couldn't have been that exciting. The final score was 126 Spurs to 97 Timberwolves. But the game was a game of runs. There were periods throughout the game where the Spurs would pull away. Minnesota would show a lot of resilience and a lot of grit, and they would come back to closing the game up. But the Spurs are just too much for the Minnesota Timberwolves, guys. Like, they're just too much. In particular, Victor Wembanyama is too much for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's the X factor, and there's no doubt about it. There's no mistaking it. When he's at his best, the Spurs team is just on another level from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it's kind of tough, being a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. I'm a fan of Anthony Edwards more so than the Timberwolves, but I like the overall team. Like, I like Jaden McDaniels, I like Naz Reid, etc. But it's kind of tough to see that, like, when they're playing at their best, but when Wembanyama's playing at his best, that they can compete, but they can't keep up. Because the Minnesota Timberwolves are a really good team. Like, they are a really good team. They have really good players. They have a good head coach. They have a good system. They have good athletes on their roster that can get up and down the court. But like, Victor Wembanyama is a 7'4", some say 7'5" X factor. I would say he's close to the 7'5" with shoes on, right? The thing that I love most about Victor Wembanyama, guys, and this is the topic of this video, is his mindset, man. Like, this dude, he wants it. Like, you can just tell he wants it. He doesn't back away from the challenge. Last game, he let his emotions get the best of him. He elbowed Naz Reid in the chin or in the neck area, right? And it cost his team that game. Now, ultimately they did fight back, the Spurs, that is, to, catch, even the score with the Timberwolves. If I'm not mistaken, they might have been up. Sorry, guys, I don't remember. They might have been up at that point. But they had a lead in the fourth quarter. That is the Spurs. They had a lead in the fourth quarter. They were doing their thing. But Anthony Edwards ended up, just showing why he's a superstar in the league. Like, he is officially a superstar at this point, right? And, them not having Wembanyama, they didn't have their superstar to go and kind of, neutralize Anthony Edwards or combat that, right? Or combat him, right? So Victor Wembanyama, he came back this game, and, he got it going early. If I'm not mistaken, he had around 20 points in the first half. If I'm not mistaken, he had around 12 or 13 in the first quarter. He came out in the first few minutes, honestly. He came out and said, hey, I'm going to put my foot on you guys next, and I'm going to show you guys that there's levels to this. And, Victor Wembanyama, man, he's a beast. He has that kind of like assassin mentality, trying to keep this video YouTube friendly. But he has that mentality of saying, like, hey, I'm better than y'all. Like, and I want it more than you too. And, I'm willing to go to the lengths. Like, when you look at Naz Reid and, how physical he's been playing with Wembanyama, when you look at Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, like, those dudes, man, they playing physical. And Julius Randle is a strong man. He's a grown man. Naz Reid is a strong man. Like, Rudy Gobert, he's strong, but he's kind of soft, in my opinion. But he's a strong dude. And, like, they were getting physical with Wembanyama. Like, even Anthony Edwards, when you watch the games, like, he's putting hands on Victor Wembanyama. He's pushing him. He's shoving him. He's getting little jabs in when he can. Like, they're really just trying to tag him up every time they can. But Wembanyama, man, he has the heart of a champion. Like, he's not shying away from it. Like, he wants it. He understands that, the Timberwolves, they want it. They're hungry. They're talented. But he's just saying, hey, I'm better than y'all. It's a different level. And yeah, you guys have Anthony Edwards. He's an all-NBA first-team caliber player. But I'm the future of this league. Like, this is my league, honestly, now. You know what I mean? It's, there's him. You have Shea right now, I guess, would be probably 1 and 2 right now, right? Depending on how you see it, maybe 1A, 1B. But, Wembanyama's the future, man. He's going to be one of those future all-time greats if he stays healthy. and he's showing it. There's levels to this. And so, shout out to Wemby, man. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed this one. The score doesn't really indicate how close it was, but that guy, man, his final stat line was, let's see, 27 points in 32 minutes, so very efficient. 17 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 4 turnovers, right? He's a high usage player though. 3 blocks. 7 for 9 from the free throw line. 2 for 5, so 40% from 3. And a lot of what he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet, right? Like when he's on the court, he alters a lot of shots. I think that one of the best ways to gauge Wemby and his overall impact on the game is his plus minus. When he's on the court, a plus of 24, which is tied for first on the team, with De'Aaron Fox, who had a plus of 24 as well, 1 on the court. Yeah, guys. Shout out to Wembanyama, elite man, killer mindset, assassin mindset. He's a beast. Let me know down below you guys' thoughts on this game. And man, what a series, guys. Next game we'll be going back to Minnesota. Personally, I do believe that Minnesota will get their lit back. I think that that home court advantage will be real, but I can see the Spurs taking that game. I can see that. I can see them saying, you know what, let's get y'all up out the way. We going to OKC. Let's get y'all up out the way. Y'all in our way. We know y'all not better than us. Get out the way. So we'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts down below on Victor Wembanyama in today's game. And I will see you guys in the next one.